who happen to like houses even more than people. And if you met my family, you would understand. I had 4 colors in my wardrobe: black, gray, white for collars, and the criminally underrated navy blue. It goes great with black when you want a pop of color. My blonde hair was braided and looped behind my head, but already sending out flyaway strands around my ears. I hadn't changed much since I was 12, except that now I had control of my own destiny instead of being packed off to a ladies' magical school. And no one got in the way of me and my destiny. I brushed off the comment about my appearance. "Where's Caleb?" I asked her. "Oh, Caleb is with the kids," she said. "They love their daddy time. But I'm the one who shuttles them to school, so it's nice to have a little me weekend, too. I just hope I pumped enough milk ahead of time. I make a wonderful mother's milk tea brew to promote lactation, but I still worry about it, you know?" I could have done without all of that information. "You had another one?" "What? When? How?" Also, Kirsten had the waistline of a supermodel. "Yup, number 5, another girl. I'm crazy, aren't I? But Caleb loves having a big family." "Godspeed," I said, not bringing up that I had 6 siblings myself, although she probably already knew. She gave me a sunshine-perfect grin with danger in her eyes. "Well, I'd better go check this place out before the auction starts. May the best woman win, like you said." The house was locked up. No inside views before the auction, so we were living on the edge here. You had to be a little crazy to do this, but I was a lot crazy. I started walking around the side, giving myself a little shake and casting a quick spell to recenter. I thought I'd be the only wizard bidding on this house. I wondered who tipped them off, and why Kirsten would bother to work the East Coast. But so what if Kirsten and the Sullivan brothers were here? I want this house. She was really a beauty, this house. We were out in the middle of nowhere, rural Pennsylvania, always a hot spot for magical activity. The house stood on 40 acres, mostly forest. It was all wood with 3 brick chimneys. The way the roof lines were pitched steep as a church with spires on top and simple gingerbread trim like lace dripping down suggested Carpenter Gothic style, maybe 1870s. But I could hear some human buyers murmuring with confusion, trying to place the style, because the architecture was quirky, with random diamond and octagon-shaped windows. I knew at a glance that they were placed to catch certain placements of the moon on sacred days, a sure sign that this house was originally built by a wizard. I could feel it. The energy of the spells cast here, the loving care of its original builders. They would have been warlocks too. I loved to imagine when houses were new and you could still smell the fresh paint. Wizards lived a long time, so I guessed this house had probably only had 2 or 3 owners across its lifetime. Kirsten wasn't going to think of stuff like that. She'll just start tearing the old girl to shreds. There was a lot I could tell from the outside, with a few quick spells and simple observation. My familiar was a bat, and he knew what to do. I summoned him wordlessly, and he swept up toward the attic to get a closer look. Bevan was a creature of few words. Another quick spell told me the ground under the house was solid. That was borne out by the lack of serious foundation cracks in the stone the house was built upon. No electricity, except for a very basic off-grid solar system to power a few lights and a fridge. Water from a cistern and a passive solar water heater on the roof. The place was owned by an old-school wizard who wanted to stay entirely off the grid and away from the toxic effects of electricity on magic. The human buyers were muttering, and Kirsten wasn't going to like it either.